Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle, and today we have the opportunity to take a look at a reel that, well, I had previewed earlier and a lot of folks have asked me about, and so I'm kind of happy that I finally have the time to go do a little work for you. But this is the KastKing. It's the Sharky Baitfeeder reel, and it's available through KastKing. And those of you that don't know the company, a little background to that. The company was founded in 2011, so it's a relatively new company. It was founded by a group of graduates out of Syracuse University. Syracuse University is up on the north central New York area, up by the lakes, and it also is around the areas of the Finger Lakes, where apparently the owners enjoyed fishing quite a bit. And one of their things that they were able to do upon graduation was kind of pursue their passion and their hobbies, and they decided to try to create a new fishing reel that was both affordable as well as dependable, and kind of a value reel that would suit a whole lot of different types of fishing and the fishing culture. And this one is the Sharky Baitfeeder. So a baitfeeder reel by its nature is a reel that is best suited for trolling, for live lining, and particularly for saltwater use. So let's take a look at this one. It comes in a nice felt-free bag, which is always good. The felt, if you had a nappy kind of a bag, it would kind of jam in the mechanisms. Also comes with a spare spool. Interestingly, the spool here is, well, it's a different color than the one that's there. And I guess that's the first judgment you would make, right? There's, when you look at fishing reels, some of the indications of a fishing reel, they call it a passion industry as opposed to a fashion industry. But when you look at them, you know, does the reel look nice, and is it something that you would like to own? This has got the red and black offsets. It's a nice cosmetic kind of a detail to it. This reel also has the cross hatching so that you can put the braid line on and not worry too much about braid slip. It should be able to grab it there. I think I would probably go ahead and still use the mono backing, but it is there and it is better. Looking up top here, it tells us that this will handle 10 to 14 pound line is the best design for this. And on monofilament, you'll get about 340 yards of the 10 pound line, and you'll get about 250 yards of the 14 pound. This is a 5000 series reel. The 5000 is the midpoint, so your small reels will basically be the 10s and 20s. Your intermediate reels will be the 30, 40, 50. This is the 5000. And then your bigger reels, well, that 5000 is the kind of the start of the bigger reels too. It would go 5, 6, 7, and 8 series reels. So this is right in the midpoint. It's ideal for piers, for fishing for boats, and you can use a 5000 series reel in the surf. This does have an aluminum spool, which is nice. It won't buckle or shatter. I'm not quite sure what the side plates are. I'm going to guess that they're graphite, but they may be some kind of composite or even a metal. We'll have to take that apart and find that out. We'll do that in the next thing when I take this apart completely, show you how it looks inside the reel. But overall, it's a smooth operating reel. And if I can bring this up, it'll tell me I have a gear ratio of 5.5 to 1, and that it has 10 plus 1 ball bearings in it. Now, unfortunately, one of the things that I noticed when I opened up the box is that we do not have a fishing manual or a schematic. So that's a little bit hard for me to make a judgment in terms of where those 10 ball bearings are. But I did notice, if we take the spool off, and while I'm doing that, I would encourage you, if you like these kinds of videos, to subscribe to my channel. And if you do subscribe, please hit the notification button. That'll tell you when I'm doing videos, and you'll be able to make a decision as to whether that's one that you want to watch. I do product reviews from time to time. That's what this one is. But more importantly, I do a lot of reel repair and a lot of take apart and services. So you'll get to see a variety of fishing reels. And if you like fishing reels, well, you'll learn a little bit along the way. I did notice that there are 2 ball bearings right here that act as spool bearings. And that'll make it a little bit smoother when you're live lining. And that's one of the uses of this particular reel, is that you can hook live bait to it, say a moss bunker or an alouette, and you can let it drift. And when you're in bait feeder mode, it's going to spin the reel and let the line out. So those bearings do become important in the operation of a bait feeder reel. I also noticed that there's, I'm guessing that there's likely to be a ball bearing in the line guide. And there's probably a ball bearing on the handle based on the way that this handle is spinning. I haven't taken off that little clip, but I'm going to guess that. So there's 4 ball bearings for you. And I guess we can hypothesize about the rest. I would say 5 and 6 are on the main posts. We'll take this off later, and we'll see. My guess is you have 7, if not 7 and 8, on the pinion gear. You have that +1, which would probably be on the pinion gear as well. That would be the anti-reverse. +1 is on this side. The +1 would also be there. So I got, without going too far, I can guess about 7 of these. And there probably is one on the crosswind block and some of the other things as well. So 10 ball bearings, that's quite a lot of ball bearings. It is a nice smooth operating reel. It does have a bait feeder function. So let's talk about a couple of these things. First, you have an override on that anti-reverse. That you don't always get that with these instant anti-reverse reels. So we're in instant anti-reverse now. There's no catch or no concern about that. Trip that lever and you can backpedal that reel. And as you can see, this reel spins very nice, very free, and very easily. So that's a plus. Another plus with these reels is that it's value priced. In other words, you get what you pay for. And this is probably between $50 and $70. I haven't seen the total makeup on it, but most of the time this reel is actually purchased through e-commerce, bought on site and maybe bought directly from the manufacturer. That cuts marketing costs, right? If you don't have that middleman, if you don't have that sporting goods store selling the product on your behalf, well, you don't have the markup that goes along with paying somebody else to sell it for you. So I think it's a good value for the money paid. It's a very nice reel. And when you go into bait feeder mode, you're going to have the spool turn backwards, letting line out without tripping that bail. On a traditional reel, if you wanted to let line out, well, it's open it up, close it, open it up, close it, as you seek the right depth in the water column for those fish to kind of gather and find the right spot. With a bait feeder, well, it simply lets the line out, and then when you go to hook up, when you click your reel, that's going to trip the back. It's going to lock the spool in, and then the top drag is what's going to control your tension as you fight the fish. So that's the advantages of it. This one tells me that it's got, let's see, we'll do some box rating now. A CNC cut aluminum power launch spool, that would be this one. A superior carbon fiber system, drag system. We haven't looked underneath, but the carbon fiber is kind of the best way to go today. Strength and yet some flexibility in there and resistance to wear. It has a stainless steel main shaft and components. That would be in the gearing side. It has the 10 ball bearings. It is lightweight, I have to tell you that. It is a very nice lightweight reel. Again, I'm not quite sure what the composites are, but it's definitely a lightweight reel. And if you're casting all day, if you're using this reel and throwing it a lot, well, it takes less strain on your hands than over the course of time. So overall, it is designed primarily for salt water because of the bait feeder function. That's what you'll use most of the time. I imagine you could use this for catfishing if you do drift bait for catfishing, but most of the time this would be a saltwater reel. And given that these folks are in Garden City, Long Island, which is the extended suburbs of New York City, well, it was probably designed initially for the types of fishing that are out in that area. So overall, I'm impressed. We're going to do an in-depth review. I'm going to take this reel completely apart. We'll show you how how it comes apart if you have one, in case you're interested in servicing it. But we'll also take an inside look at this and see what those gearing is, what the setup of it is, and we'll be able to give you some additional information at that point. So right now, this is the Sharky Baitfeeder 3. It's a preview kind of what the reel is, a little bit of an overview. And on first impressions, I like the reel, and I like that it's so smooth in its operation. So I hope you've enjoyed that. And if you have any questions on this reel or any reel in particular, just leave it in the comment section. I'll try my best to respond to you and get you an answer. It doesn't have to be about this. It can be about reel repair or anything. But if you have one of these, leave your impressions in that comment section as well. We'd like to learn what you think of the reel and how it's been performing for you. And to everybody who's a first responder and essential personnel, thank you for what you've been doing to keep us safe during the pandemic. And to everybody, please stay safe, stay well, and stay watching. This is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Have a great day.